Quality food, quality life. Learning about quality food, quality life. Irrigation. In India, different methods of irrigation used are drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, irrigation through pipes, and canal irrigation. Agriculture in India is mostly dependent on monsoons. Since the rain in our country are not consistent, the crop yields also fluctuates accordingly. In order to overcome this problem of uncertain rains, some alternative sources of water for irrigation are essential. Thus, the method of supplying water to crops through canals, wells, reservoirs, tube wells, etc. is known as irrigation. Cropping patterns. A variety of patterns are adopted for growing crops. It results in providing maximum benefits. Mixed cropping, intercropping, crop rotation, etc. are some of the important methods of growing crops. It is ideal to grow wheat and gram together in the same field? If so, why? Yes, it is ideal to grow wheat and gram in the same field. Gram is a leguminous plant. It helps to increase the nitrogen content of the soil. Gram replenishes the fertility of soil, which is used by the wheat during its growth. Therefore, it is advisable to grow wheat and gram in the same field. Even jawar and tur can be grown together. Mixed cropping or multiple cropping. It is a method of growing two or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land. The two crops are selected in such a way that they support each other's growth. This cropping technique leads to an improvement in the fertility of the soil. Wheat is grown along with tur. Intercropping is a method of growing crops wherein two or more crops are grown simultaneously on the same piece of land in a particular pattern. For example, soya bean, maize, tur, etc. are selected to be grown on the same field. Observe the above figure and answer the following questions. How many crops do you see in growing on the same field? Do they follow any pattern? Crop rotation. It is a method of growing different crops on the same piece of land alternatively. In this method, legumes like pulses, peas, beans, etc. are grown in between the seasons of cereal crops like wheat, paddy, maize, etc. It helps in maintaining or improving the fertility of the soil. Protection of crops before and after harvesting. The crops in the field are exposed to many factors. The crop plants may be destroyed by insects, rodents, birds, etc. How do farmers protect their crops? Farmers protect their crops by using pesticides. Your mother exposes wheat to the sun by keeping it on the terrace or roof. She then stores it in the kitchen. What happens when grains are exposed to the sun or heat? Wheat is exposed to the sun for drying. The insect, fungi, etc. are killed due to sun heat. The moisture content of the grains is also substantially reduced and hence the grain can be stored for a longer period of time with safety. Sometimes the crop plants grow in the fields get infected by pests, weeds and diseases. Pests are organisms that bring about moderate to heavy damage to the standing crops. The common pests are insects, mites, ticks, aphids, rats, birds, etc. Chemicals used to protect the crops from these organisms are called pesticides. There are mainly two methods adopted to control pests. They are the chemical control and biological control. Chemical control. In chemical control method, the pests are destroyed by using pesticides. The spraying of pesticides can be done by using a hand-operated machine or by power-operated sprayer. Fumigation and dusting are other methods of using pesticides. Biological control. In this method, certain birds, insects, or other living organisms are deliberately let out in the fields. They destroy the pests selectively and save the crops. This method is very slow process. Tout happens to be highly specific and does not pollute the environment. Unwanted plants which grow in the field along with the crop plants are termed as weeds. Their growth in the field is harmful for crop as they compete with the main crop for nutrients, space and sunlight. Growth of these weeds along with the crop plants lead to reduced yield. Some examples of common weeds are wild, oats, grass, etc. Crop plants are also attracted by certain diseases caused by some microbes. Storage of food materials. It is necessary to ensure safe storage for food materials for their availability throughout the year. The stored food grains and other foodstuffs can be damaged by both biotic and abiotic factors. Biotic factors include rodents, birds and other animals, insects, certain worms and microbes that are bacteria, fungus, etc. Actions of enzymes. Abiotic factors include temperature at which the food item is stored, moisture content of the food, humidity of the surroundings. Safe and proper storage of grains, pulses and other food materials like fruits and vegetables is essential. It is due to the proper storage methods like cold storage, etc., that most of the fruits and vegetables are available throughout the year. This also facilitates their distribution to almost every corner of the country. Summary. Different methods of irrigation used are drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, irrigation through pipes, and canal irrigation. Mixed cropping or multiple cropping is a method of growing two or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land. The two crops are selected in such a way that they support each other's growth. This cropping technique leads to an improvement in the fertility of the soil. It is necessary to ensure safe storage of food materials for their availability throughout the year. The stored food grains and other foodstuffs can be damaged by both biotic and abiotic factors. That is all for this topic. Grow more crops.